Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 20 of my early campaign where I'm playing as the Almohads. And if I remember correctly, the last episode is pretty peaceful, it's pretty nice. I am stacking up some money. I'm sitting on, it looks like 42,000, which feels pretty good. And I only do have my one enemy right now, the French, which I'm working on kind of destabilizing their region so that we can go back to at least being neutral, because right now they are at war with the Germans, and they're not like kicking ass. The Germans are actually kind of pushing back a little bit, which feels nice, because my other campaign has the French kind of taking over everything, which is kind of boring. And in this one, it feels kind of nice to have the French be, you know, they're kind of working for it. And right now, they did just send another campaign or another crusade. This one's going to Tripoli, and I'm just going to do what I did the last time. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to invade Northumbria, which is where this chapter house is located. There is no French fleets in the water, so I should be able to easily do this. And this army isn't really much. It's peasants and militia, some light cav. The best unit in this army is going to be this unit of 15 Royal Knights, but I should probably be able to deal with them. And then I can, yeah, just kind of smash all their buildings in this province, including that chapter house, and then get out of there. It would be nice if I could give the English a way back into this campaign, because they are kind of sitting here in Scotland with their biggest army. It's not much, spearmen and archers, but if I can remove the biggest army, the biggest French army in the island, then possibly the English will feel like they can kind of come back and at least take over their island, because they have 4 Royal Knights in here in Mercia, and they can be put to good use for sure. And it'd just be nice to see England, exist, because right now, I mean, in every campaign that I've watched, they just get stomped by the French. So it'd be nice to see them exist, really, and it'd be nice to see, the French not just take over everything for once. In fact, looking around, I do finally have an agent in every single province. Are they the alums? Yes, they are. I have an alum in every single province, so I can see everything, and it feels cool. I like this map because, and I mean specifically for this campaign, because the Turks still exist, the Egyptians are still, existing, they're fighting, they're pushing back the Byzantines, which is nice. The Byzantines have such a fractured realm because they hold the islands here, they hold Bulgaria here, they have Crimea here, and then they have their greatest collection of provinces up here, which is interesting. Really neat stuff. It'd be nice to see the Turks push back and continue to push back against the Byzantines, because they really don't have much up here. The Byzantines mostly have peasants, militia, Slav warriors, which is kind of like a peasant basically. It's not much, but I dare say it's better than the Turks' forces, because the Turks don't have much either. Archers, horse archers, peasants, militia. So this might I don't know if the Turks are gonna be able to push back against the Byzantines here. It'd be nice to see if the Novgorods did something. I've never seen them do anything, so that'd be cool. I mean, these are good units. The Boyars are good. It's a good hybrid unit. It's a skirmish cav unit. They can also fight pretty well in melee, and it's the unit that I'm pretty sure the family members come up in. Yeah. There's a bunch of heirs here in this army, and they're in the Boyar unit. They're good. Boyars are good. Like, totally. They could, with that army, they could definitely make some noise in fighting up against the Byzantines here. Like, that could beat this for sure easily. If not, what do we have here? This is probably the best Byzantine army here in the north. So, like, 2 units of Byzantine infantry and then a 6-star cataphract toy general. These are just tanks. They're just the tanks of the old world. And this is probably the best army here. But what about these rebels here in Lithuania? There's a lot of them. I wonder what happened here. Why are there so many rebels in Lithuania? Is that normal? I don't know. I don't know these answers. It's like, it's not, I mean, it's kind of a crappy army, but it's actually not that bad. They have some feudal sergeants here, decent spearmen, crossbowmen, Lithuanian cav, which I'm pretty sure it's like a light shot cav, I believe. I haven't used it before, but I think that's what it is. But in any case, it would be nice to see the Novgorods do something, like they could potentially do that. What about, and the Poles, just this whole map is just really cool. I love that the Poles have a big domain, the Hungarians are still alive, The Germans are really pushing out, and the, you know, Italians are kind of doing their thing. The Danes still exist, so they haven't really done anything. They've just taken Sweden, and they'll never take Norway. Norway just gets these Viking units, and I'm pretty sure it gets +1 honor for, +1 valor for Viking units. So they're good. They're really good units. And even though the Danes themselves also have Vikings, and they have a bunch of Royal Knights, like, they should beat this. They should. Although the Viking thralls are, you know, decent. Well, they're crappy spearmen, but they do have an armor upgrade. So, yeah, it's tough. This is like, that's why you want to take out Norway right away, so they don't build this shit. Like, that's a lot to deal with. So that's why the Danes oftentimes get stuck here, because they take their time, then they don't take Norway right away, and then they are like, oh, well, we're kind of stuck here in Denmark and Sweden. And who wants that? So, other than that, let's see, Sicily, also, I love this. Like, they're just holding on to Naples. Cool stuff. They have Sardinia, Sicily, Malta. I like it. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. Yeah, so, my trade's doing well. I'm sitting on almost 5 grand a year is what I'm making, so that feels pretty good. I'm not training anything right now as far as soldiers goes, because I do want to keep my upkeep where it's at. I feel like the armies that I have in my borders here in Cyrenacia and in Aragon and Navarre, I feel like are sufficient, I want to say. Like I said, I am technically at war with the French, and you know, as I say that, I should probably get something together real fast. I should probably build an extra army or two to invade Northumbria. I mean, the other option is to do what I did last time and just take units off of my front lines. It's an option for sure. It is risky though, and I think that with the income that I have right now and the treasury that I have, I may as well build a new army. I can do it fast enough because this is, you know, a long way from Tripoli for sure. So yeah, that's what I'll probably do. I'll probably just build an extra 2 stacks pretty fast. And with this many territories, I can do that, you know, pretty quickly. It's not going to take too long. So that's going to be the play there. Other than that, I am building buildings, and, you know, that's all I'm doing right now, spending money on infrastructure, which feels good. Because of my amazing glorious achievements points, I'm just sitting on, you know, a pretty decent stack of points, and I'll be looking to make another 15 in the year 1205. Yeah. Maybe even more, because I don't know how many buildings I have. That's what's weird about this little thing, the Iberian Almohad civilization, because like, you might think, okay, why don't you just count your buildings in your provinces and then you'll know. Yeah, but I think, my guess is that this also includes building upgrades, and I don't want to do that. I'll just find out when I find out, and I'll see if I get those points. How much would I be looking at? So, like, this is, I don't get it. This is so confusing to me. It's 6 total. Okay, that's, okay, there we go. So 6 total, so it's 2 per province, Castile and Granada, and then 1 point per Aragon and Cordoba. And that is if I have 30 buildings or more. Oh yeah, it does say buildings or upgrades, right. Right, but I don't want to count all of that, so I'll just find out. If I get, what would I be looking at then? I'd be looking at another, that's 16 points, and then plus 6, so 22 points what I would be getting. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I'm up to 85 points by the year 12, is it 1205? 1204 for these, but then I believe it's 1205 for the homelands, yeah. Yeah, we'll see where I'm at in the year 1205 for that. Other than that, though, yeah, speaking of which, I was wondering why I don't have a castle yet in Aragon, the 3rd tier castle, because I'm building them everywhere else, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, because I want to get as many buildings as I can, so I'm going to build these 2 buildings here that just take 2 turns apiece, the Siege Engineer and the Royal Palace. I don't really need them in Aragon, but it's only 2 years per building, so maybe I can get 2 more buildings in this province and try to get that extra point for Aragon. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm just trying to keep the peace, and I'm trying to make peace with the French by you know, making them submit to my peace, but we'll see how that comes along here. You know, actually, about camels, I was playing around with them earlier today in some custom battles, and I wasn't mad at how they performed, honestly. I'm a little bit... See, for me, usually I try to keep them in the desert because this is where they get their bonus, especially... So I was looking it up, actually, in this numerology thread in the official Total War forums for Medieval Total War. There's a numerology thread where a lot of the old players and even some of the devs would come in and talk about the nitty-gritty details of the game mechanics and the numbers that go into this game. And yeah, one of the things that they mentioned was how the camels do get that +1 attack when it's in Sandy Desert. So I was asking before if it applies to Sandy Desert and Rocky Desert, and it seems to be a bonus that's just for Sandy Desert. So like here in Cyrenacia, they get a +1 attack bonus. And that is for everything, you know, cavalry versus infantry, or whatever it is. However, camels also do get a +2 attack bonus versus cav, and a +4 defense versus cav as well. And that doesn't go away until, and this is what I thought that when you essentially left the desert, like sure, you're not getting that +1 attack, but that's just for Sandy Deserts. That's not for, I think this is a Rocky Desert. Yeah, you're not getting +1 attack for that camel here in Tunisia. But I thought that there was going to be a -1 attack for like every other province on the map. And that's actually not the case. It's for lush and temperate. And if you look around, I mean, yes, a lot of this is lush grassland. You see it there at the bottom, terrain, lush grassland. And yeah, a lot of it is that way. But if I go down here to Iberia, Aragon and Navarre, arid ground. And we're looking at arid ground here. So if I have camels defending these provinces, they can, still be useful. In fact, to be honest, like even in my custom battles, I was playing, I want to say in a lush or temperate map, and they were fine. I thought that they were really useful in the sense that they're basically like a skirmish cav, right? Except a skirmish camel. But they're more resilient than what you would think. See, typically when you're playing with skirmish cav units, their counter is going to be a light cav, specifically a light cav with like a high charge bonus, like a mounted sergeant. These are good heavy light cav units, if you know what I mean. They're pretty, they're a little bit on the heavier side. They have a little bit of a better attack than most other types of light cav, and I think that typically they're a little bit slower than the fastest. It's like there's two different types of light cav. There's the one that's a little bit slower, but a good charge, a good attack for what it is, for what its price is. And then there's the type of light cav that's just super, super fast, and it sacrifices everything for speed. It's just for chasing down units. It's just for going after skirmishers. That's like my Saharan cav. These guys, they're not great. The attack, the defense, whatever you want to say, it's not that great, but they're super fast. That's what they're good for. And yes, with the +1 Valor that they get from Cyrenacia, they're okay. I think they're okay. I think they hold up decently well in battle. But, I was just... Versus some of the army comps that I was fighting up against in these custom battles, I wanted to get something a little bit more resilient versus cav. And I also was going for army compositions that wasn't using any desert archers, because I was going kind of all out on trying to get soldiers that could pierce armor, but that could also hold their own versus the feudal men-at-arms, which is the Catholic swords unit. And so it was really tough because I needed my Almohad urban militia to fight back against the feudal men-at-arms, but I also did want javelin men and militia sergeants to crack the armor of the royal knights, or the feudal knights. And I was having a hard time fitting archers into that alongside the amount of cav that I want to have, And when I switched out my Berber camels, my camel archers, for my Saharan cav, what I found was I had a unit that was capable of a little bit of skirmishing. Yes, they're slow, they're a little awkward, they're a little dumb looking, but they can do a little bit of poke with their bows and arrows. And if you try to attack them with your light cav unit and chase them off, which is typically what you do with a skirmish cav unit, they can actually hold their own. In fact, in a lot of engagements, they will win. Now, on expert difficulty, that can change things a little bit, but being that this is in the campaign, it can also change things in my way as well by having good generals. conferring their good command stats to my units, of course. So that's something that I'm going to try out here. And I mean, I've had a couple camel units here on my northern border for a while. And I kind of forgot about them. I'm going to send him back to Morocco and get him retrained up. But then I'm going to send some camels up to my borders here in Aragon and Navarre. Now, will I ever send them out and about on a campaign out here? I don't know. I don't know. Like I was saying, the -1 attack that I, you know, my camels were apparently suffering from in that custom battle did not seem to really matter. Now, I wasn't really using them in that role. However, what it really seemed like was it actually seemed like the enemy like cav were almost avoiding the camels because they knew that they could beat them, or they knew, I don't know. It was interesting. So I'm going to give that a try. I'm going to just put some more camels back up on my northern border here. And who knows, maybe I'll even bring some camels to England. I don't know. But I was impressed, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit more. I probably should have been using them this entire campaign in greater numbers. I know that there is a good skirmish cav unit called the Fairy, which is available to the Almohads, and I'm not quite there yet. Their build requirements is actually pretty decent, pretty high. I think you need at least a third tier castle to be able to train fairies, but they're good. They're good in melee. They can shoot. I believe they're disciplined as well, so they're not going to take a morale hit if other units that are not disciplined are running away. So they're pretty dang solid. They probably will take over for my camels once I get to them. But, you know, I'm not there yet. So let's get some camels here on my northern borders. So far, the French are not... I feel like it's been a while since they've attacked me. But you know what? Maybe some camels will do even more to dissuade the French from attacking me here. Other than that, I think I'm ready to go. I did put some build orders for my units in pretty much every province that I have, so that I can try to get this armies prepared for my invasion of Northumbria as soon as possible. So with all that being said, I think I'm ready to go. Let's just kind of go in here and drop a save. And let's end this turn. Well, this is wonderful news. The Egyptians have accepted my offer of an alliance. Yes. Let's be friends. Come on. That is wonderful. So now if they do attack me, they will get that -1 influence. And this is a name that I recognize. Muhammad ibn Yaqub. And he has poor attacker. Yeah, this is someone that did he just came into being? I think he just came into being. He hates taking risks and is right to do so, as when he does, it does not often go well. -2 command when attacking. But this is an historical general. Did he just come into being? I think he did. He's in a unit of Gaza infantry. Okay, that's not great. Interesting. So, poor attacker. So -2 command when attacking. So, as a defender, he's going to have 5 command stars. As an attacker, he's going to have only 3. But, you know, he still has 4 acumen and 3 dread, decent piety, good loyalty. Yeah, so I thought that he was... Okay. See, now I'm a little bit confused. He's... See, I can't remember now. Where's the other one? I have to find him. There's... Ibn Mardanish is the guy who the Almohads actually fought against. So it's not this dude. It's not this 4-star general. But then there's another one who... Did I send him down to Cyrenacia? Perhaps? It's not you. Yeah, Yusuf ben Yaqub. So he's the father. He's the father, and then... See, I feel like they're getting their names wrong. And then he's the son? Muhammad ibn... This isn't El Mansour, is it? They didn't give El Mansour a poor attacker trait, did they? Or is this the guy that lost the Battle of Las Novas de Tolosa? Is it him? That would make sense if that's what they did. I can't. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm sorry. If you know more about these things, then please let me know, because yeah, I'm a little rusty, and to me, a lot of times these names, I swear that this game did not get the names right. I swear that, because I've read, you know, a thing or two about the Almohads, and then I look into this game and I'm like, okay, I feel like you're calling these guys by different names, or sometimes I feel like they are mixing two people up at once, I feel like. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about all of that. In any case, yeah, moving on here. Nothing really happened at the end turn except for the French are about to start moving through German territory with their crusade, which is fascinating because they're at war with each other. And, that's going to be curious. They can be let through even though you're at war, right? Gosh, I think so, but I don't know for sure. They are still at war, correct? Yeah, the Germans or the French are at war. Okay, well, I guess I'll find out if the French actually can move their crusade through German territory. I believe they can, as long as the Germans allow them to. By the looks of things, the French crusade is not being allowed to pass through German territory, and it's retreating from Lorraine. Yeah. Fascinating. I don't have to do anything here. Perhaps the French crusade is going to fail all by itself. My castle is completed here in Navarre, so I can start working on some tier 3 buildings in all of these provinces. Mosque is completed in Lyon for that +1 morale, and then, yeah, a bunch of stuff. Mosques are great. They give so much. They also give province happiness as well. They just do so much for you. Taverns completed here in Castile, so I can train assassins here if I need to. Siege Engineer is completed in Aragon, just so I'm trying to get as many buildings as I can in Aragon. And yes, anything that's worth looking at here. Prince Abdullah is now Avarice, okay. +2 acumen, -40 happiness. Well, I'll have to keep that in mind if I ever want to make him governor. I have to be prepared for his province to be pretty unhappy, so we'll keep an eye on that. So yeah, what's the word here? It looks like the crusade is passing through, right? That's what it appears to be, because if the crusade was conquering and then they conquered this province, then this German army would be inside this castle. So the crusade is being allowed to pass through. Interesting. Okay. And they're still at war, right? Yeah. Okie dokie. So yeah, they're going to keep marching through, and I have plenty of time to take Northumbria. And that probably is important, because if we take a look at the provinces that are on the path of this crusade, what would they be? So Zeal, 55% here in Swabia. Let's look at the Zeal, 68%, 65, 50 in Tyrolia, so that's nothing too crazy. 54, 46, 65. There's some high, yeah, 68 here in Hungary, 74 here in Croatia. So these are provinces, because of that zeal, these are provinces where this crusade is going to be picking up a lot of soldiers from these local armies. So yeah, they have a long way to go before they reach Tripoli, and that includes a lot of Egyptian territories that they need to get through. But I don't want it to let it get to that. I do want to just, take care of Northumbria as soon as possible. So there's still no French ships in the water. That's all a good sign. And you know what? I'm working on it. I got this army one step at a time. And yeah, shouldn't be too long before I'm ready to send some forces over to Northumbria. Oh, and what have we here? Looks like the Germans have built themselves a crusade, and it's sitting right here in Swabia. It's pretty inland, so not really a good province for me to send in a naval raid. I would have to march through 3 territories at least before I get to Swabia. And I'm not at war with the Germans, so who cares? I wonder where it's going to go. As soon as I just said I'm not at war with the Germans, I just wondered if I'm going to be the next target, because yeah, I could be, who knows? So we'll find out, I guess, on the next episode of, this. But we're not there yet. We still have some more time to go. Yeah, the Germans are, gosh, would they do that? They're only at war with the French. And I would think that they would focus on the, come on, does this look like it's worth attacking? This, right? And do the Germans have any boats in the water? That's the next thing to consider. Yes, there is a boat here. And are there more? There's another boat in the English Channel. Another boat here. So I do outnumber them in these provinces. I do have, in sea provinces. I do have 2 boats to their 1. And then I have 2 boats to their 1. Actually, 3. 3 boats here in the English Channel. And then how about down here? It's just 1v1. Okay, well let's get another boat. Do I have another boat in the neighborhood? Yeah, let's get you down. Just in case the Germans declare war. I'll try to be ready for that. But we will see. It might just head in this direction towards the Egyptians and the Turks. Speaking of Turks, the Turks did actually take Serbia off of the Hungarians, and I struggle to see them hanging on to it. I mean, the Turks, this is a decent army. This is probably the best army they have, but I mean, the Hungarians actually have a decent set of forces in this area. I mean, they're not great though. It's you know, peasants and militia, pretty standard, right? And artillery. Gosh, yeah, that's tough, because I don't know if the Hungarians have some, you know, like some decent troop quantities, but not good troop quantity or quality. And yeah, it'll be interesting to keep tabs on this and see what's going to go down up here. The Turks left Greece completely wide open, which is just so bizarre to me, because the Byzantines could in theory come down here and take Greece, but they wouldn't dare, would they? Because the Egyptians are sitting right here in Constantinople with 3 stacks, just kind of waiting to pounce. So yeah, that's a curious thing as well. Yeah, it's going to be worth keeping an eye on this region here to see what's going to go down, because yeah, that's yeah, the Hungarians and the Turks. I wouldn't be mind to see the Turks try to scrap their way back here, because they're kind of in a tough spot, not able to make any headway against the Byzantines up here, and then kind of stuck in an awkward little, like, against the edge of the map kind of situation here between the Egyptians and what's going to soon be the Mongols. So that's not going to be fun for them. Finally I can build a brothel here in Valencia, and this is going to finally let me get my spies being trained up. Yeah, it's funny because it's like Creative Assembly took my playstyle in Shogun, which is just, you know, I loved to use the shinobi, and they took that and they were like, yeah, everything that you love about that, we're going to take it away from you. And one of those things being how early in the game you can't get shinobi. In this game, you can't get them until you get the 3rd tier castle. I mean, my God. You know, that's a long time. So, yes, I can build the brothel now. It's going to take 6 turns? Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, better get started. And I can also get the ale house, which is going to be their tier 2, whatever it's called. The tavern. Yeah, the tavern. The tavern's the building that allows me to train assassins. And then the ale house is going to give me +1 valor for my assassins that are trained here in Valencia. So it'll be nice to get those guys on the field there. Is there any other buildings that I want to get going? I feel like that's pretty good. Here, Cordoba is looking good. Granada, I can start working on a castle as well. It's time for you to get a castle. And that way I can try to get some more tier 3 upgrades for my Almohad urban militia that are being trained here in Granada. And then other than that, I think everything else is looking pretty good here. So now we just have to, yeah, keep cracking along until we get these armies ready here in Castile. We're getting close. And just like that, I was expecting a war to be declared on me, and it looks like I was right. Yeah, I called that one. The Germans must have declared war on me, and I moved a ship down to actually prepare for a fight here, and it worked. I was right. And my king just died. So luckily I do have a prince. I believe it's Prince Umar, I think. And I am the richest. Let's see, Royal Palace is completed here in Aragon. And yeah, the crusade is marching toward my lands. The Germans, you know what? Good luck, guys, because I do not see it happening. The Poles are breaking their alliance with me. Same with England. Not too bad. Prince Ismail, you're lazy. -1 command, -1 acumen, okay? And let me check out my king and see what he's about. Yeah, Caliph Umar. Decent acumen, you know, 5 acumen's okay. 2 command, 4 dread, 4 piety, 5 influence. Great warrior, so +5 health. And yeah, negative command, negative acumen. +20 happiness, +1 piety. All right, so I shouldn't have to worry about population loyalty while he's alive. Does he have any sons on the way? So Ismail is now my new heir, and he's the one that just got that bad trait, isn't he? Yeah, 21, so he's still young, but you know, 4 acumen's not bad, 3 commands. Honestly, this isn't bad. I can work with that as my heir. It's too bad that he's lazy, but you know, as it goes. And there will be more sons on the way, right? So yeah, I'm assuming, and this is where I get a little confused here, because so we have 6 here, and to my knowledge, it's never going to be, you're going to have more than 6 heirs. And so were these guys here before? Like, are all of these my old king's sons, or are some of them now like my new king's sons? I don't know, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's see, my heir being 21 and my king being 40. Okay, so if he lives for another 20 years, and then Prince Ismail will be 41 before he comes of age. Yeah, that's a little dicey, I suppose. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Because if he is having kids like in the background and like it's not, you know, filling this sheet, that should be fine, because then he'll have like a son, right? By the time that he dies. I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on that. I'm not really sure how that works, but in any case, welcome to being the Khalifa, Prince or King Khalifa Umar. And check out the German Crusade. Yeah, we got some Teutonic Knights, which are pretty scary for sure. Order of Foot Soldiers, yep. Teutonic Sergeants, yep. Mounted Crosswomen. Nothing else is too scary. What about, let's look at like, see, that's what's funny though. What's its goal? Cordoba. Okay, so it's trying to come here, and it's not gonna accomplish anything. I mean, come on. So yeah, that's what's unfortunate about this, is because so they can cross through French territory. What's the zeal like? Zeal's 50%, so that's not bad. So they can definitely pick up some units from these French armies here. What do the French have? Like, what can they get here? Some feudal men-at-arms, peasants, archers. Nothing too crazy. They do have a fair few feudal men-at-arms. Yeah, they have 6 units of feudal men-at-arms in Toulouse. Okay, well, interesting. That's actually something. So I will have to keep an eye on this and see if these this German crusade grows anymore. And obviously, it's also important because if this crusade does attack and then kind of like blows its load and then, you know, weakens my defenses enough to where the French feel like they can send all of their forces from Aquitaine and Toulouse to Aragon, then that's going to be a little bit precarious. But I really don't think that's going to be how this goes down, because I have a decent amount of forces here on my northern borders. So that should all be fine. And let's not forget, the French and the Germans are still at war with each other, are they not? Yes, they are. So this can get pretty awkward here. Like, we still have a French crusade in Bohemia. And then we have, yeah, it's kind of funny. How's this crusade going? Getting some good stuff? Yeah. That's fine. My my anti-crusade army should be ready to go here in a couple more turns. So my income has taken a hit. I'm down from what was almost 5 grand to now 2,883 florins per year, which is still not terrible. You know, it's a good little chunk. I will take it. If I can, you know, get a ceasefire with France after I destroy this chapter house, that would be fun. As far as the Germans, though, I think that we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and let them exhaust their crusade upon my bastion first. And then once that's over, then I can take my ships, exit any territories that border German territories, and then get the ceasefire that way. Yeah, that's going to be the play there. I think that hopefully can work out. Yep, looks like the Turks were pushed back from Serbia, which is too bad. I was on Team Turkey on that one, so it's too bad to see them get pushed back. But yeah, the Hungarians are looking okay. Like, they're not great, but like they have a decent little chunk of forces here. On the subject of who should lead this army, this little expedition to Northumbria, I was thinking, so I'm looking at a few units here, and I don't want to send anyone too important to my family, of course. I do have a 2-star Gulam bodyguard who I'm assuming is a previous family member. Nothing too special about him. I mean, good runner. Ooh, so -3 morale. He's not going to be a good general, but I do think I want to bring a unit of Gulam bodyguards just because. Actually, let's keep him in. Let's keep him in Aragon for now. I'll bring him at the last second, and then. In addition to him, I was thinking about getting Ibn Mardanish a little try here, because he's good. Like, the more I look at him, like, he's... Gentle Knight is a good one. That's +3 morale. And he's already a 4-star general, so... It sucks that he's in a militia sergeant unit, you know, because I do like having my generals mounted so that, you know, they can't get run down and killed. But, you know, whatever. Like, I don't think that this is going to be the most precarious situation here in Northumbria. This French army is not that great, and even if the English wanted to attack me as well, they don't have good armies either, so I don't think it's super precarious. And yeah, I should probably get Ibn Mardanish to try and see what he can do. So I can bring him, and I probably want to bring another unit of Gulam bodyguards as well, just to have them. I was looking at Idris al-Mutmid, and then yeah, two loyalty, so obviously not good. I'm just gonna be bringing him for his unit, for his Gulam bodyguards, because other than that, yeah, he's not. Oh, +2 morale. Oh, yeah, that's good. It's too bad his loyalty is not better because yeah, I can't put him in charge of an army. He might start a civil war. So I'll bring those 2 units of Gulam bodyguards, and then I'll bring Ibn Mardanish as well, and that's going to be my leadership core for this expedition to Northumbria. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking for that. Other than that, though, I think I'm all set to go here. I'm going to attack this German boat here in the North Sea, and I will bring a boat up here to the Irish Sea to try to take on this German boat as well. But yeah, other than that, I think we're doing okay. The French army, French crusade is still marching on through. Yeah, it looks good. So let's drop a save here, and let's end this turn. Huzzah! The German ship has been sunk. And an heir matures, Prince Yusuf. Yeah, alright. And I have some defenses that are being built for my castle here in Navarre, which is perfect timing, and siege engineers completed here in Algeria as well. Alright, Prince Yusuf, what do you got, man? Drinker, not good. So -1 command, and then Great Warrior. Okay, so you're drunk, but you don't feel your wounds. So that'll do, I suppose. And then, yeah, scored 15 points off of the homelands, which is good. But I want to know if I scored any points off of the Iberian civilization thingy-mabob. It doesn't look like I did. Interesting. Why did it go away? Is it just gonna renew, I guess? At the end of this turn, will it pop back up again? Because it said that there's multiple chances for me to score those points, and they weren't scored, because that would have been 6, that would have gotten me to 85 points. So yeah, they weren't scored. I mean, but you know, as far as all things considered, I'm still doing very well as far as the points go. Yeah, I guess I just wasn't able to get to those 30 buildings in all of those provinces, or any of those provinces, I guess, which is unfortunate, but you know, whatever. There's nothing I could do about that. By the time I found out about that glorious achievement objective, I did all I could to get to those building marks, and I guess it just wasn't possible. So let's try to get rid of this German boat here in the English Channel. Sink you, and yeah, the German crusade is on my doorstep, and you know, are they looking scary? Do they think they can beat me? I really just don't see it. I do not see it happening. And they're just going to be draining the French soldiers here in Toulouse as well. You know what? I will take it. My goodness, in this turn, I just had 2 heirs come of age on the same year. I didn't even know that's possible. So, I think, gosh, was I even paying attention? I think, was Prince Yusuf, yeah, Prince Yusuf was one that already existed, so now he is on us. So, +1 loyalty, good for him. Prince Mohammed, drinker, -1 command, seems to run in the family. And then Killer Instinct, so +2 Valor, +1 Dread, so he's going to be a pretty good fighter. And then Prince Ali, Hard Sums, so +1 Acumen. And then another Great Warrior, +5 health. Okay, and let's go take a peek at what we got for stats. So, what do we got? We got 4 command, 4 acumen. Oh yeah, if we look down here at the unit card down here in the panel, we will see that now we're in the high period, right? We were in the early, and then starting with the year 1205, we are now in the high period of this campaign, which is going to give us access to certain units that didn't have access to before, and also the bodyguard units also upgrade by a little bit. I don't think it's much. I think it's pretty subtle between early, high, and late. I would have to double check the stats on that. But yeah, this is going to be an upgraded unit now. He also has the +1 armor from the armory. And yeah, he's not bad. 4 command, 4 acumen, 3 dread, 4 piety. Is it the drinker? No, this is the good counter. So good for Prince Ali. Nice to have him. And then this is the drinker, I believe. Yeah, 3 command, 4 acumen, 5 dread. Still not bad, you know, all things considered. And did either of those take up as the new heir? Yes. So Prince Mohammed is the new heir. So the 16-year-old, yeah, having him be a drinker is not great because that's going to escalate. He's going to get worse and worse as things go along. So that's not great, but you know what? I mean, 4 acumen is still not bad. And 5 dread is going to keep the people in line, you know, keep the people in check as well. So yeah, him being 16 and then my king being 42. So that, yeah, that should be fine as far as Muhammad having sons by the time my current king dies. So let's take a look at these glorious achievements and see what has happened here. So yeah, yeah, I'm confused. I wonder why. I guess that Iberian civilization objective will come back when I get closer to one of the other check-in dates. I can't remember what they all were, but I know that there's at least a few more of those. So yeah, I guess that's just gonna like go away for now. Yeah, too bad I didn't score any points off of that, but I couldn't. You know, I tried. And for the Alhambra, I just have to build a citadel in Granada, and I have so much time. I have until the year 1320, so I'm gonna get there without even thinking about it, you know. So yeah, so I'm making just a crap ton of points off of the homeless objectives. How much am I getting? So yeah, I'm still getting 1 point per 5 provinces, and I thought that's something that changed as we went through the campaign, but I don't think that's changed at all. I feel like that's what it was in the early campaign as well, so that's a little bit too bad. That's a lot. 1 point for every 5 provinces that's a lot of work for little gain. And now I can train crossbowmen, so let's get some of these going. Yeah, anyone can use a crossbow, and a few weeks of practice will make anyone a master of it. Archers have to be trained for years. Once trained as a crossbowman, even the humblest peasant can kill the mightiest king. This weapon is often seen as unfair by the mighty. Yeah, they're good, you know, they cost 200, support cost is 22, how's that compared to archers? So archers are more expensive than crossmen, oh my, I didn't even know that. Okay, wow, 225 for an archer, and then 200 for a crossbowman, and support 22 versus the support cost of 37 for an archer, my god, yeah. Crossbowmen are good. Nice, I like it. Yeah, so they shoot slowly, they shoot in a straight line, so you can't use them like archers. You can't shoot over the heads of the guys in front of you. They can be a little bit awkward, but they do pierce armor better than regular archers. So yeah, overall, I'd say I like using them. You know, it's one of those things where I remember in my first campaign with the Almohads, which is my first campaign playing in this game, and I tried using Desert Archers during the entire campaign just because they were kind of like a unique unit for the Almohads, and I just wanted to use them. And they were great. I really liked using the Desert Archers, but once I really started cracking heads against the Catholic factions, or basically any faction with a crossbowman, I saw that things were not going very well for me. I think that crossbowmen do have better armor, I want to say, so that, you know, the light arrows that I was shooting for my archers, my Desert Archers, or even regular archers, just weren't doing anything versus the crossbowmen. Like they'd really kind of take the hit. And that gets even worse once the Pavis crossbowmen become available, because then they're going to be carrying this big giant shield that they just reload behind. And then you just can't kill them. Like you're going to be shooting arrows at them all day with your regular archers and they're not going to do any damage to them. So it's one of those things where in this game, you really do need to tech up as much as you can. If you fall behind, you will get left in the dust, And the nice thing about the ranged component of the rosters in this game is that everyone has access to crossbowmen and the upgrade to crossbowmen, which is arbalesters, which is just a better crossbow in every way, shape, and form. So that's nice. It's nice that, everyone has their unique thing, but if you really want to get down to the brass tacks, everyone can just get an army of crossbowmen or arbalesters and just shoot the heck out of one another. That is kind of the great equalizer, which is pretty... I like that. I do like that was added in. So, yeah, let's not fall behind. Let's get some of these going here in Castile. And can I train them anywhere else? Not in Leon. Can I get them going in Cordoba? No, can I? I cannot. Okay, is there anywhere where I can train crossbowmen? Yikes, I might need to get... I thought I had more buildings. Yes, Algeria, here you are. So my game has just crashed a few times in a row here, and I have not been able to open up my campaign again. Luckily, I do have my last quick save. I have been saving after every turn, or before every turn, and yeah, I mean, thank God. So I don't think I lost anything there. I'm not able to open up my campaign right now, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Obviously, I would like to be able to finish this episode on the campaign map. I was pretty close to being done anyway for this episode, so I can just call it here anyway. And hopefully I can get this to boot back up again so that I can finish playing this campaign, because that would suck if this had to end here. This is different. I've had it crash before, but then I just can open it up again and keep playing. I had a lot of issues when I first installed this game, and I thought that I thought I got past those. So for me to not be able to continue, play a campaign, this is a new issue, or at least, a new issue in a while. Like it's, been a while since I've not been able to open up a campaign after a crash. So yeah, in any case, hopefully I'm able to figure this one out. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. I've been Conestep, and this has been Medieval Total War. So thank you very much, and goodbye.